Okay, it's good to see you, Gary and Angus. I can't see Angus, but
Oh, I'm here.
okay, cool. Okay, let's share my screen. Okay, how's that? Can you see it?
Not yet.
No.
Oh, I gotta share it. Hang on. That's me that has to do that.
I can still see people, but I got nothing. My computer won't do it with the link. Awesome.
There we go. Right, we're in.
Okay. There, you can see that now?
Yeah, we can see it.
We got it.
So this is our first time doing this SO Hockey Week. So it's going to be a steep learning curve for us. I have no idea how busy we're going to be, except for, of course, on the 21st. So I just did a little short presentation here. I'll start with mine, and then Dave will take over after a couple minutes on post-production requirements and how we're going to do things. So assignments, everything not on the finals day is basically parents will book us for a game. And we're basically, our deliverables is basically, we're just going to shoot a game, upload them, and parents will have access to all the digital files from that game. So if little Johnny books us, I don't know if we'll get any of those assignments, but for the price, we're basically treating everything as a team buy. So they book us, we're going to shoot that team. And deliverables are just the digital files from that thing. We're not going to do prints or anything. We're just going to keep it simple this year because we don't know what to expect. So for camera settings, now this is kind of just my thing, but I usually shoot ISO 1250 to 3200. I have shot higher ISOs with my D5. Nikons are good at high ISOs, way better than those shitty Canons.
Okay.
I just waiting for Dave's eyeballs to curdle.
I was gonna say, who's gonna be like rude?
Oh, that son of a.
Just cleaning my eyes.
Yeah. Anyhow.
You're only attacked because you're jealous.
Yeah, whatever. So typically ISO 1250, 3200. Shutter speed. I try to go 500th of a second and faster. Or sorry, I meant to do don't shoot above 1,000th of a second, but
zero.
I found when you're getting into these mercury vapors and things like that, when you get into higher shutter speeds, you start getting really weird color shifts. And so I try to shoot as low a shutter speed as you can by freezing it. So I think 500th of a second with a 200 mil lens is kind of a safe shutter speed to shoot at.
Harry, can I just ask you a question?
Yep.
Are you providing gear for this, or are we using our own gear?
I have 5 cameras available with long lenses. So if you need a camera, yes.
Okay. And you want us to shoot at 200 on a 200 lens?
That's kind of a nice, that's a good lens, probably the best lens. 7200 is probably the best all-around lens.
Okay.
I do have a 2 to 500 mil, which I have shot games on that. It's
Okay.
good when you're shooting at the other end of the ice, but
Mm-hmm.
it sucks when they come into the corner where you're at.
Okay.
But 7200 is a nice thing. The odd time I've kind of, changed the lens and gone with my 24 to 70 or something like that, just to kind of shoot some stuff when they're close in, but typically the 200 mil.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry to interrupt.
No worries. Shoot raw when possible.
Yeah, I'll step in there, Perry. Shooting raw is great because obviously we get the best possible image. But when it comes to the finals, if you're going to be shooting all day long, that could be a problem.
Yeah. So we'll go to the next slide here.
Well,
so,
I'm more concerned about uploading if we're doing raw.
Yeah.
Dave will get into that in a bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically you want to set your white balance or shoot to auto white balance. I've done both. Now, typically, if I'm shooting in the arena, I will set my, because you have that white ice service, I will kind of override and go +1 stop. Just so then it's kind of brightening the whole scene. Even though I am shooting raw, I'll do that just so it doesn't look so muddy. Now, if we are shooting JPEG, then you want to spend more time before the game when you're in that arena to get your exposure right and look at your histogram or yeah, usually shooting a stop to 1.3 stops is good. Just depends on the situation in your camera and your lens, but that's kind of usually what I'll do. If we're shooting raw, it's not that big of a deal, but if we're shooting JPEG, we've got to be more careful when sitting up before the game.
You're talking about exposure comp, right?
In shorter compensation, yes.
Okay.
+1 or whatever, but we need everybody to set your camera clocks today so you don't forget it, because we all want to be synced with time. We set all the clocks in the cameras in the studio today, so all my cameras are set to the same time. For the reason for this, Dave will get into here later too. Yeah, so we make it now. Nice little information or tidbit would be, just so we're, in case we need that later, make a note of the time. Okay, I'm starting the Trails West and Springbank U11 2 finals at 2 o'clock. We should have that information, but it just in case. And then just put, so try to put the name of the teams. This is U11 Div 2 finals at the Flames Arena Red. So then we've got information, and maybe just put your name too. So then if Dave's wondering like later, well, what game is this? So then we've got kind of have some reference on that. So any information, because if we're shooting 53 games on that last day, all those little information tidbits will help us in sorting and filing when we're uploading or labeling the teams or the game for Hockey Calgary. So basically look for angles. I usually, when I'm shooting, I'll kind of maybe go in the corner for a bit. I'm going to go down the boards for a bit or go behind the net for a bit. And just kind of try to change up my angles. A nice thing to do too is usually before the game starts, I'll say, hey, can we get into the player's box for second period or first period or whatever. If that team has hired us, they're usually more than willing to let us in there. Sometimes the coaches are wound up before the game, so they'll say, get out of here. But by the second period, they might have calmed down a bit and say, hey, yeah, you can come in. So you got to just schmooze them up and kind of say, hey, I'm hired to shoot or you guys hired me to photograph your team for this game. Can I get in the box for part of even part of a period? It's a nice place to shoot. You have no glass in front of you and you're in the middle of the ice. So it's just more of a negotiating or talk nicely. And they're pretty good about it.
What about the penalty box? Is that allowed or?
I've never been able to get in. Well,
I've never done it. No.
No, I don't think they let us in there. I think I've tried, but you can always ask. It just like I just keep asking and see where they'll let you go, because it depends on who's running the game and how rowdy it is in the age group. If it's like a 10 bets, it probably better odds getting in there. But
what are the average age group? Like, is this all kids?
it goes anywhere from like 10 bits up to midget.
Okay.
So is there U21s? I'm not sure, but
no, there's U18s as the biggest eight. Oh, then again, you've got Junior Rec and Junior C. They're U21s, aren't they?
Yes.
So there's 2 U21s. Yeah.
Now you can see in this diagram, kind of like the players, these little stars are kind of places that I've gone and shot. So from I spend most of my time in the corner back there, or maybe a third of my time in the corner. If I can get in the player's box, I'll hopefully stay there for half a period or a period, just depends. And then I'll jump in there just before the period and then jump out at a whistle or if there's something going on to get out of there to move around. So on the finals day, it'll I'm thinking because the teams aren't hiring, it might be easier too. I'm not sure how that'll go over, but it's pretty easy to get in the players box when that team hires you.
Mm.
Gonna be all the games during the week.
Yeah, I think the finals might be different.
So I'm not sure how we'll have to feel that out. Who knows? But it's just talk them and make sure you're talking up when they know who you are. Oh, and by the way, we're working on. Can you guys see this?
No, because she's doing a screen share, Perry. Hang
I'll
on.
show you this after.
I can
Anyhow,
see it in the corner. Yeah.
Oh, you can see it in the little one. Yeah.
so anyhow, we're gonna have vests like this with our photographer and our logo on it. And Teresa just did a test with one of these a few minutes ago, a sublimation. It looks really good. So we're gonna have these, so then we stick out like a sore thumb, but then I think it'll just buy us a lot of equity for getting into the box and things like that.
I'll just butt in. Also on those vests, guys, there's also going to be a QR code. So people, it's going to be on your back. So if you're shooting the game, people can scan the QR code, and it'll take them directly to the Prime website to do with the SO hockey.
Well done, you guys. That's
Yeah.
great.
And then, so under the vest, we're gonna have a spandex onesie that's bright pink.
I already have one. That's great.
Okay.
You first, Barry.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what are you guys wearing right now? Obviously.
I don't think you're allowed to ask that in a business environment.
Sorry.
This is recorded, so I can't show you.
Retracted.
So, in the past, like, what we've noticed, if you could see, you're gonna get, you're gonna shoot the game, and you shoot 1,000 shots, and you got 100 wicked good shots. You're gonna have somebody complain. If you shot 200 shots of a game, and you've got 15 or 20 good shots, they're not going to complain. Because people, the more shitty ones they see, they're going to complain. And so you want to kind of be very, don't overshoot. Because parents will say, oh, you got so many photos, can you calm them down for me? We don't want to have to do that. So be more selective when you shoot. I'd rather shoot less and get better shots than like, and the last games I shot, I was only shooting single frame. I turned my multi-frame because my camera shoot 12 frames a second. I turned that rate off, and I was just shooting like one shot at a time, like a pop, pop, and I was more selective. And that was for the baseball tournament summer. And I did a game, it was probably 100 shots, and they were awesome shots. And we had some people that were shooting 1,000 shots in the game, and it was just overkill. So we've just found experience in the past, less is more. So you want to make sure you cover all the kids, but don't overshoot it. So in this tournament, we've got 2 assignments. All the games during the week are booked by a parent or a team, and we don't know what that's going to be yet. So this is where our wild card is going to be. Who knows? Like the link was going out tonight through Hockey Calgary to all their organizations. By tomorrow, we could be booked up for the week, or we might not. We might have 2 or 3 games booked. I'm not sure. So the parents are a customer in all those games during the week. And then January 1st finals games, our customer is Hockey Calgary. And those are for media and for their website. And so our priority for that is the awards